Hello students, in this video we are going to learn about the second chapter in first PUC biology or 11th CBSE biology, and the chapter is biological classification. So in this chapter we are going to learn the classification of organisms into different kingdoms. The first scientist who uh, classified the organisms into two kingdoms, Carolus Linnaeus. He classified the organisms into two kingdoms. They are Kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Plantae includes all the plants and Kingdom Animalia includes all the animals. But this two kingdom classification is not used further. It has been discarded because Carolus Linnaeus, he did not distinguish between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Means he did not explain about the cells which has a proper well defined nucleus, and he did not explain the organisms who have a cells without any kind of well defined nucleus. So prokaryotes means the cells or the organisms which do not have well defined nucleus, whereas eukaryotes are the organisms who have well defined nucleus. Means around the nucleus you can find here nuclear membrane, whereas in case of prokaryotes there is no nuclear membrane. And also Carolus Linnaeus did not mention about unicellular organisms, the organisms made up of one cell, single cell like amoeba, and he also not explained about multicellular organisms, the organisms made up of many cells. And he also not explained about photosynthetic organisms, means the organisms which are autotrophs like plants who can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. No explanation about them. And he also not mentioned anything about non photosynthetic organisms, means the organisms, some organisms are heterotrophs, means they directly or indirectly depends on autotrophs. So regarding them he has not explained anything in his two kingdom classification. That's why it has been discarded. So the best biological classification we got from R.H. Whitaker, who divided the organisms into five kingdoms. They are Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, also called as Kingdom Mycota. Fourth is Kingdom Plantae and fifth is Kingdom Animalia. These are the five kingdoms by R.H. Whitaker. Now the criteria he used to classify the organisms was, one is cell structure. He studied the structure of the cell, whether the cell is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. He studied the thallus organization. He studied the mode of nutrition, whether the organism is autotrophic, heterotrophic, or saprophytic. He studied the reproduction, whether the organism reproduce asexually or sexually. And he also studied phylogenetic relationship. Children, phylogenetic relationship means evolutionary relationship. For example, man and apes, if we study the evolution, if we study the history, both have origin from a single point, single ancestor, common ancestor. So this is called as evolutionary relationship or phylogenetic relationship. This also Whitaker considered while classifying the organism. So the first kingdom is Kingdom Monera, children. So Kingdom Monera includes bacteria. Kingdom Monera includes bacteria, or we can say Kingdom Monera includes all prokaryotic organisms. All prokaryotic organisms. I already said prokaryotic organisms are the organisms which do not have a well-defined nucleus. Matlab, nucleus is not covered by nuclear membrane. So such organisms are called as prokaryotic, and all prokaryotic organisms belongs to a kingdom called Kingdom Monera. So now in Kingdom Monera we have bacteria, and this is the classification of bacteria based on the shape. Based on the shape we have classified the bacteria into four types: spherical bacteria called coccus, rod shaped bacteria called bacillus, comma shaped bacteria called vibrio, and spiral shaped bacteria called spirillum. So these are the shapes of different shapes of the bacteria, spirilla, bacilli and cocci, and one more comma shaped vibrio. That is also one of the type of the bacteria. And remember children, bacteria cell wall is made up of a chemical called murin. Bacterial cell wall is made up of a chemical called murin. Murin is a chemical which is present in the bacterial cell wall. Now, one of the primitive prokaryotic cell is archaebacteria. So, archaebacteria are the primitive. We can say it is the primitive, means the firstmost primitive prokaryote. Archaebacteria are the primitive prokaryotes, and the main thing is children, these archaebacteria can live in harsh habitats. Harsh habitats in the sense high temperature, hot springs, extreme salty area, marshy area, all these are the harsh habitat. Okay, the archaebacteria can survive in extreme salty area are called as halophiles. Halophiles means archaebacteria that can survive in the extreme salty area. Similarly, acidophiles are the bacteria who can survive in the hot spring. And similarly, methanogens are the archaebacteria which are present in marshy area, and methanogens are the bacteria which can produce methane gas. So this is about the archaebacteria. Now eubacteria, children, eubacteria in the sense true bacteria, they are the true bacteria. So they have rigid cell wall, and for the sake of motility they have flagellum. For the sake of motility. Now there are different types of eubacteria. Some bacteria like cyanobacteria, they can prepare their own food. That's why they are called photosynthetic autotrophs. Example, non-stalk and Anabaena. They can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. That's why photosynthetic autotrophs. Example, cyanobacteria. And some bacteria are there who can prepare their own food by using the chemicals in their surrounding. They are called chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. This is the structure of cyanobacteria non-stalk. You can find the heterocyst. This is used for fixing the nitrogen, especially to the roots of the leguminous plants. These are the cells of the trichome, and these are the dividing vegetative cells. Now, heterotrophic bacteria has some applications to the mankind. Some are pathogens. So, the uses of bacteria helps in making curd from milk. Example, lactobacillus is a bacteria that converts milk into curd. Similarly, some bacteria are helpful in the production of antibiotics which are used to cure lots of diseases. And some bacteria can fix the atmospheric nitrogen and supply to the plants. So these are some of the applications of the bacteria. Some bacteria are used to convert the milk into curd. Some bacteria used to produce antibiotics. Some bacteria are helpful in nitrogen fixation. Similarly, some bacteria are disease causing. Some bacteria are pathogenic in nature. They cause diseases like cholera, typhoid, tetanus in case of animals. Bacteria can even cause a disease to the plants and cause citrus canker. If you talk about the reproduction, bacteria can reproduce by fission. Bacteria can split its body to produce two daughter cells by fission. Or bacteria can even produce spores, and those spores under favorable condition develops into new bacteria. And bacteria can even also reproduce by sexual reproduction, especially by conjugation, that we are going to study in 12th. Now, mycoplasma, this is the organism which lacks cell wall. If you talk about the mycoplasma, they completely lack cell wall, and they are the smallest known cells, which are known, smallest living cells you can say, and they survive without oxygen. Mycoplasma are the smallest cells, they lack cell wall, and they survive without oxygen, and they usually pathogenic in nature, causes disease in both plants and animals.